Hey, what's up? It's E. Smith here, former IBF junior middleweight champion of the world. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Sporting Icons. Cheers.
Okay, so Errol Spence Jr., the now former WBA, WBC and IBF welterweight world champion, has checked his excuse makers. He took to his social media, his Instagram to be precise, in his story mode, where he wrote this: "I was brought up an old law where men don't make excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you." Errol Spence Jr.'s statement, and he's absolutely correct. Why? Because he's a real man. You take the loss like a champ and you move on. That's how it is. But these PBC radicals, these ones who will make all the excuses for Deontay Wilder, were absolutely ridiculous. And now I see them trying it with Errol Spence Jr. Even on my own channel, even like the last few hours of today, I see them saying how clear it is and how obvious it is that Terence Crawford is on PEDs. I mean, this is a guy who's always past father, right? Has his latest father one, has it come up with something? As of right now, no. Do I expect it to either? No. But if it does, then of course we'll address it. But right now, you can't accuse somebody of it because they've always been passing father. Not only that, even if he was, when you look at that fight, how would that help him dominate Errol Spence Jr.? How would that help him with his accuracy? His foot movement? It wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I see people on social media, on Twitter, putting out pictures saying how it looks like Terence Crawford's gloves are loaded. I mean, again, we're going back onto this whole glovegate crap that Wilder had, where it's very, very simple. If you think something was in Terence Crawford's gloves, come out with what you think it was. And then what I want you to do is put on your hand wraps, put that object into your gloves, go to the gym and hit that heavy bag for 9 rounds and show me your knuckles afterwards. People seem to think that the gloves and the wraps are there to inflict damage onto your opponent. No, they're not. They're there to protect your hands. That's what they're there for. These people are not born with the same sense of common sense, even, that they were born with. They no longer have it. These PBC radicals, there's something fundamentally wrong that's wired up in their brain. And where Errol Spence Jr. says, I was brought up with old law where men don't make excuses. Yeah, men don't make excuses. Wilder, men don't make excuses. So what does that make you? PBC radical fans out there, what does that make you? Because it don't make you a man, does it? You're coming out with excuses because your favourite fighters lose. All our favourite fighters lose. I've been a boxing fan for a long, long time. And over the years, some of my favourite fighters, even those that I know personally, have been smoothed out, have been dominated and bounced around. It happens. It ain't nice. It hurts. Even when you don't know them personally. Yeah, it ain't nice. But you know what you do? You get on with it. You win some, you lose some. It's a sport. You're supposed to lose sometimes. For me, anybody who doesn't lose, at some point, it could be because you've been treading very, very carefully. It's either A, you are elite and untouchable, or B, you've been treading your career very, very carefully. With Tyson Fury, he's been treading his career very, very carefully. With Bud Crawford, he's just that good. And that's the reality of it when it comes to Spence and Crawford. As much as I like Spence, Terence Crawford is just much better. If you want to say that there's a problem potentially with Errol Spence Jr.'s weight, he's been at 147 for too long, his fault. He shouldn't have tried to avoid Terence Crawford for the last 5 years. He shouldn't have done that. Should have fought him beforehand, before it became that much of an issue to make 147. His fault, he signed the contract. His fault that he waited this long. His fault he listened to Al Heyman and the PBC guys. If you want to say the car crash was a problem, again, was Bud Crawford driving that car? Or was it Errol Spence Jr.? Was it Errol Spence Jr. who went to the club and got drunk and whatever? Or was that Bud Crawford who done that? Right, so his own fault. His own fault. When Terence Crawford is in the gym and he's keeping himself in shape and in trim and in fight and fitness, even when he doesn't have a fight coming up, i.e. outside of camp, well, that's good, isn't it? When Errol Spence Jr. doesn't really train outside of fight camp and balloons up in weight, and we see these videos popping out of his girlfriend, wife, whatever, exposing him, you want to go to Dubai, baby, you want to go to Dubai because he's intoxicated or he's drunk or whatever it may be, and he's got all this weight on his multiple videos that we see. Is that Crawford's fault or is that Errol Spence Jr.'s fault? Errol Spence Jr.'s fault. There are no excuses. He signed the contract, he got in there, and he got his ass kicked. It happens. Get over it. Stop it with all these excuses. Much like people saying how Inoue shouldn't be a pound-for-pound fighter unless he fights Tank Davis. I'm still seeing these narratives now. Okay, how about Tank Davis go fight Terence Crawford then? That's a whole lot closer than Inoue moving up 3 weight divisions to fight Tank Davis. Why don't Tank Davis move up 2 weight divisions, i.e. potentially 1 weight division, because he has fought 140 before, and go fight Crawford? How about that? No. You don't want to do that. Quit it with the excuses. There are some genuine excuses out there. As I said, I've been there many times with fighters who I know for a fact should not have even walked into the ring, but they did. But you can't talk about it, and in the end you have to put it with people saying how crap they are. And you can't say anything, because it's boxing. Win some, lose some. Excuse makers, as Errol Spence Jr. says, real men don't make excuses. And if you're a man making excuses, guess what? He's telling you, you ain't a real man. Get out your feelings. Fannies. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.